In today's video, we shall look at the physics behind the process of rocket propulsion. We shall see how fundamental concepts in physics such as Newton's second law of motion and the principle of conservation of linear momentum play crucial roles in understanding the process of rocket propulsion. So let's get started. Let's look at the initial state of a rocket. So this particular rocket is being launched vertically. It has a mass of capital M plus delta little m. This is the mass of the rocket itself, and this is the mass of the fuel the rocket is carrying. And at that point in time, the velocity of the system is v, and it's moving upward. At a slightly later time, the rocket's mass has been reduced to m, and an amount of fuel, delta little m, has been ejected. And because of that, the velocity of the rocket has increased by delta v. So the entire velocity of the rocket is v plus delta v. This exhaust has certain amount of speed with respect to the rocket, and let's assume that speed is downward, and we can label it as ve with respect to the rocket. It is the speed of that ejected fuel away from the rocket as it's being burned, or we can even call it the velocity of the exhaust gas with respect to the rocket. The same exhaust gas have a slightly different velocity with respect to us, or with respect to Earth, and it's going in an upward direction. That velocity of the exhaust gas with respect to us, or Earth, is quite simply the velocity of the rocket minus the velocity of that exhaust gas with respect to the rocket. And we note that that direction is upward. To understand this line, imagine you have a balloon, a rising balloon, let's say with a speed of 10 meters per second. And at some point in time, a ball is ejected from the balloon with respect to that balloon downward with a speed of 2 meters per second. However, to us, we will see the velocity of that ball would be 10 minus 2, which is 8 meters per second in an upward direction. So the same thing is happening here. Let's not forget the effect of gravity as the rocket is launched in an upward direction. The weight of that rocket is trying to pull it downward. Let's calculate the change in linear momentum of the system. So it is the final linear momentum minus the initial linear momentum. Now what is the final linear momentum of the system? Let's look at this diagram. So we have the mass of the rocket being m, the velocity is v plus delta v. In addition to that, we also have momentum contribution due to that exhaust gas, which is delta m times v minus v er. That is the velocity of the exhaust gas relative to us. What about the initial linear momentum? The mass of the system is m plus delta little m, and the velocity is v. There will be a few cancellations. This term will be cancelled by that term, and here you have delta little m times v minus delta little m times v. So there we have it. The change in linear momentum is capital M times delta v minus delta m times v er. This is the exhaust velocity with respect to the rocket. The rate of change of momentum is just that. You divide the entire equation by delta t. We can rewrite this equation in a language of calculus. So that is just dp dt using derivatives. And on the other side is capital M times dv dt, and the last term is d little m over dt. Newton's second law says this is the amount of force, the net force, that is acting on the system. Let's look at this equation more closely. The first term is an ma term, ma. The second term is the thrust produced by that exhaust gas, so dm dt v e r. And don't forget the effect of the weight. So immediately you see ma equals the upward thrust dm dt v er minus the effect of the weight. So on the right hand side of this equation, one should add minus capital Mg j hat. So there we have it. This is the first rocket equation. Now let's assume the rocket is in deep space, which means there is no effect of gravity. So the right hand side will go to 0. In such a case, how does the velocity or the speed of the rocket changes with respect to time? So let's rewrite the equation below. Capital M dv dt equals d little m dt v e r. d little m dt is the rate of change of fuel inside the rocket. That means it has got to be the same as minus the rate of change of the mass of the rocket itself. Because as the fuel is burning, the rate of that burn fuel with respect to time increases, and that would decrease the mass of the entire rocket by the same amount. Thus, we can write that term as quite simply minus d dt capital M. Keep in mind, we assume that the velocity of the exhaust gas with respect to the rocket to be constant. Moving terms around, we get dv equals minus the capital M over M v e r. Let's deal with scalar equation, so we can take out the vector notation from those two terms. Now let's integrate the two sides. Initially, the speed of the rocket is vi, the final speed of the rocket is vf. Likewise, the initial mass of the rocket is mi, the final mass is mf. So the left-hand side will simply become v sub f minus vi. The right-hand side is minus. This is a constant. You can take that out of that integral sign. And solving the integral, you have natural log of capital M. Remember the lower and upper limits, mf, mi. And rearranging the term and noting the negative sign there, you see it becomes natural log of mi over capital MF. So the final speed of the rocket equals the initial speed plus the speed of the gas with respect to the rocket times the natural log of the initial mass of the rocket over the final mass of the rocket. So this is the second rocket equation. Now let's see how to use those two equations in problems. Let's look at the following problem. A rocket that is in deep space, so we don't have to worry about the effect of gravity, and initially at rest with respect to an initial frame, has a mass of 2.6 times 10 to the power 6 kg. So you can take this initial frame to be us, the observer, and we are not moving. Out of this, 2 times 10 to the power 6 kg is fuel. The engine is then fired for 200 seconds while fuel is consumed at the rate of 450 kg per second. The speed of the exhaust gas relative to the rocket is 3.2 kilometers per second. Find the thrust. Remember the first rocket equation that says m dv dt equals dm dt, this is the little m, times the speed of the exhaust gas with respect to the rocket. So this is the thrust in newtons. Thrust is a form of force. So you see that dm dt is quite simply the fuel consumption rate, and we are given that number to be 450 kg per second. And this is the speed of the exhaust gas relative to the rocket, which we know to be 3.2 kilometers per second. So kilometers turn into meter per second, you just multiply that by 1,000. So the answer that you'll get is 1.44 times 10 to the power 6 newtons. So that is the thrust. Now let's do part B. That says after 200 seconds of firing, calculate the mass of the rocket. The fuel is being burned at a rate of 450 kg per second. So for 200 seconds, the amount of fuel that is being burned is 450 kg per second times 200 seconds, and that is 90,000 kilograms. We note initially the mass of the rocket together with the fuel is 2.6 times 10 to the power 6 kg. So now the amount of mass after that much fuel has been burned is quite simply 2.6 times 10 to the power 6 minus 90,000 in the unit of kg, which is 2.51 times 10 to the power 6 kilograms. And that's the answer for the mass of the rocket after 200 seconds. What about the speed after that many seconds? To determine that, we need to use the second rocket equation that says the final speed equals the initial speed plus the speed of that exhaust gas relative to the rocket times natural log of initial mass of the rocket over the final mass of the rocket. We know that the initial speed is 0 because the rocket was at rest. It's mentioned right there. So VF equals 0 plus the exhaust speed is 3.2 kilometers per second. Natural log initial mass is 2.6 times 10 to the power 6 kg. The mass after 200 seconds is given in part B, 2.51 times 10 to the power 6 kg. And that's going to give you an answer of 0.113 kilometers per second, or 113 meter per second. And that solves the problem. As always, thank you for watching.